A White House report just declared American children the sickest generation in history, blaming screen time for everything from obesity to depression. But there's a problem. 7 of the studies cited in the report don't actually exist, and dozens more appear to be AI-generated fabrications. Meanwhile, new research reveals that parents' own screen habits may be more damaging to children than kids' device usage itself. Today, we're unraveling the screen time controversy that's caught families between conflicting science, political agendas, and their own digital contradictions. This isn't just about how much time children spend on devices. It's about how fear, politics, and parental guilt have created a crisis of credibility around one of modern parenting's biggest challenges.
What we're witnessing is the weaponization of legitimate parental concerns for political purposes. The MAHA reports fabricated citations aren't just scientific misconduct. They're exploiting parents' deepest fears about technology's impact on their children. Real research shows nuanced effects. Educational content with parental interaction can benefit development, while passive consumption often doesn't. But nuance doesn't create political talking points or drive clicks. When government reports contain fake studies, it undermines trust in actual research and leaves parents more confused than ever about evidence-based decisions.
The irony is staggering. A report criticizing screen time was apparently written using AI that fabricated citations, the very technology they're warning against. This represents a fundamental breakdown in scientific integrity at the highest levels of government. When policymakers use artificial intelligence to create artificial evidence about artificial problems, we've entered dangerous territory. Parents deserve honest, evidence-based guidance, not politically motivated fear-mongering backed by non-existent studies. This scandal damages credibility for legitimate screen time research and makes informed family decisions even harder.
The latest research reveals a profound irony. While we're panicking about children's screen time, parents' device usage during interactions with kids may be causing more developmental harm. Our meta-analysis of 15,000 children found that parental screen use in children's presence correlates with poorer cognitive and social outcomes. Yet 89% of parents check phones in front of their children daily. We're creating a moral panic about kids' screens while modeling the very behaviors we're trying to prevent. This generational hypocrisy undermines our credibility and misses the real issue: quality of interaction, not quantity of screen time.
Dr. Rodriguez, let's start with the White House report controversy. How did we get to a point where government health recommendations contain fabricated studies?
This represents the intersection of political pressure, scientific illiteracy, and technological shortcuts. The MAHA Commission had 98 days to produce a comprehensive report on childhood health, an impossibly short timeline for rigorous research. Instead of acknowledging limitations, they appear to have used AI to generate citations that supported predetermined conclusions. The oocyte markers in URLs are smoking guns, clear evidence of artificial intelligence generating fake academic references. This isn't scientific method. It's conclusion shopping with algorithmic assistance. It damages trust in legitimate research and gives ammunition to those who dismiss any screen time concerns as political theater.
The broader implications are terrifying. If government agencies are using AI to fabricate scientific evidence, what else might be artificially generated? This sets a precedent where political convenience trumps scientific integrity. The report's authors knew parents are anxious about screen time, so they manufactured evidence to support a predetermined narrative. It's digital age propaganda disguised as health policy. Real families making real decisions about their children's well-being deserve better than algorithmically generated fear-mongering, presented as government-backed science.
The tragedy is that legitimate screen time research gets overshadowed by this circus. Recent studies show that context matters enormously. Co-viewing educational content can enhance learning, while passive consumption often displaces more beneficial activities. But nuanced findings don't generate headlines or political momentum. The fake studies in the MAHA report focused on the most alarmist claims while ignoring research showing positive uses of technology. This polarization makes evidence-based parenting decisions nearly impossible when families can't distinguish real science from political theater.
Dr. Kim, your research found that parents' screen use affects children more than kids' own usage. How did we miss this obvious factor?
We fell victim to our own biases. It's easier to focus on children's behavior than examine our own. Our meta-analysis of 21 studies across 10 countries found consistent associations between parental device use during child interactions and poorer developmental outcomes. When parents are distracted by phones during play or meals, children receive fragmented attention during critical learning windows. 7 out of 10 parents use phones during child interactions, yet we've spent decades studying kids' screen time while ignoring the model we're providing. It's a classic case of missing the forest for the trees.
This discovery challenges fundamental assumptions about screen time research. We've been measuring the wrong variable. It's not just about how much time children spend on devices, it's about the quality of human interaction they're receiving. A child watching educational content with an engaged parent often learns more than a child playing educational apps alone while parents scroll social media nearby. The research shows that parental presence and interaction quality matter more than screen time duration. But this nuanced understanding doesn't fit neatly into policy soundbites or parental guilt narratives.
The parent screen time findings expose the hypocrisy in our digital discourse. Adults average 7+ hours of daily screen time, yet we panic about kids reaching 2 to 3 hours. We check phones 96 times daily, then lecture children about device addiction. We work on laptops during family dinner, then criticize kids for wanting iPads. This generational double standard undermines our authority and confuses the real issues. If we want children to develop healthy digital habits, we need to model them ourselves. But that requires acknowledging our own problematic relationships with technology.
Marcus, how does the parent anxiety industry profit from these conflicting messages about screen time?
There's a massive industry built on parental guilt and fear. NYU research found that sensational articles about screen time dangers get shared 20,000 times more than balanced reporting. Fear drives engagement, clicks, and product sales. Parental control apps, digital detox programs, screen time consultants, entire businesses profit from amplifying anxiety. The more confused and scared parents become, the more they'll pay for solutions. Politicians exploit this too. Blaming technology for complex social problems is easier than addressing systemic issues like poverty, education funding, or mental health resources. Fear-based messaging works because it taps into genuine parental love and concern.
The anxiety industry creates a vicious cycle. Parents read alarming articles, restrict children's screen time, kids resist and act out. Parents interpret this as screen addiction, leading to more restrictions and conflict. Meanwhile, the real factors affecting child development, poverty, family stress, educational quality, sleep, nutrition, get overshadowed by screen time obsession. We've created a moral panic that distracts from evidence-based solutions. Research consistently shows that family income, parental education, and social support predict child outcomes far better than screen time duration. But addressing systemic inequalities is harder than blaming iPads.
What's particularly harmful is how this anxiety affects family relationships. Parents become screen time police, creating conflict over device usage rather than focusing on positive interactions. Recent research shows that screen time restrictions without alternative engagement often backfire. Children become more obsessed with forbidden devices. The most effective approach involves modeling healthy usage, co-engaging with content, and ensuring screens don't displace sleep, physical activity, or face-to-face interaction. But nuanced parenting is harder to package and sell than simple screen time bad messaging.
Dr. Rodriguez, what does the actual science tell us about screen time's effects, separate from the political and commercial messaging?
The honest scientific answer is, it's complicated. Age matters enormously. Effects on toddlers differ from those on teenagers. Content matters. Educational programming with parent interaction can benefit language development, while violent or overstimulating content may harm attention. Context matters. Using devices to avoid family interaction is different from using them to connect with distant relatives. Timing matters. Screens before bed disrupt sleep, while morning educational content might enhance learning. The research consistently shows that quality trumps quantity, but measuring quality is subjective and difficult. Simple duration limits miss these crucial nuances.
The most robust research suggests modest associations between excessive screen time and various outcomes, but correlation doesn't prove causation. Children with behavioral problems might use screens more as coping mechanisms, rather than screens causing the problems. Socioeconomic factors, family stress, and educational resources often explain more variance in child outcomes than screen time alone. The latest meta-analyses show that when you control for these factors, screen time effects become much smaller. But small, nuanced effects don't generate political action or parental clicks like dramatic claims about digital addiction or screen-damaged brains.
What's emerging from current research is that screens are tools. They amplify existing family dynamics rather than creating them. Families with strong communication, consistent routines, and engaged parenting tend to integrate technology positively. Families already struggling with stress, conflict, or disengagement often experience screens as additional problems. The technology isn't inherently good or bad. It reflects and magnifies the relationships and environments in which it's used. This understanding shifts focus from device management to family wellness, but that's a harder sell than simple screen time limits.
Looking ahead, how should families navigate this landscape of conflicting information and manufactured controversy?
First, parents need to develop media literacy about media literacy research itself. Question dramatic claims, look for peer-reviewed sources, and be skeptical of studies that seem too convenient for particular political or commercial agendas. Focus on your family's specific needs rather than universal recommendations. Ask, are screens replacing sleep, physical activity, or family interaction? Are children learning and engaging positively with content? Are family relationships healthy and connected? These questions matter more than arbitrary time limits. Trust your observations of your own children over sensational headlines about other people's research.
Demand scientific integrity from institutions. When government reports contain fabricated studies, call it out. When researchers make claims beyond their data, challenge them. When companies profit from parental anxiety, recognize the business model. The screen time debate has become too politicized and commercialized to trust simple answers. Parents should focus on modeling the digital behaviors they want to see, co-engaging with children's technology use, and maintaining strong family relationships regardless of devices. Technology is here to stay. Learning to live with it thoughtfully matters more than fighting it fearfully.
The most important insight from recent research is that parental behavior matters more than parental rules. Children learn from what we do, not what we say. If we want kids to use technology mindfully, we need to demonstrate mindful usage ourselves. This means putting phones away during family time, co-watching content rather than using screens as babysitters, and having honest conversations about digital challenges we all face. The goal isn't perfect screen time management. It's raising children who can think critically, connect authentically, and use technology as a tool rather than a crutch. That requires ongoing relationship and communication, not rigid rule enforcement.
Dr. Rodriguez Marcus, Dr. Kim, thank you for helping us navigate this complex landscape. You've shown us that the screen time controversy isn't really about screens. It's about science, politics, commerce, and family relationships intersecting in complicated ways. What we've learned is that simple answers often hide complex realities, and that parents deserve better than fear-based messaging disguised as health policy. The human cost of the screen time panic extends far beyond device usage statistics. It's about families torn between conflicting expert advice, parents feeling guilty about their own technology habits while policing their children's usage, and children caught in battles over devices rather than learning healthy digital citizenship. When government agencies fabricate studies to support predetermined conclusions, when anxiety industries profit from parental fear, and when research gets weaponized for political gain, families lose trust in the very institutions meant to support them. The real tragedy isn't children using screens. It's adults using children's well-being as ammunition in broader cultural and political wars. The path forward requires intellectual humility from researchers, scientific integrity from institutions, and honest self-reflection from parents about our own digital relationships. Technology will continue evolving faster than research can study it. Our best strategy isn't perfect screen time management. It's building strong family relationships, modeling thoughtful technology use, and teaching children to think critically about the digital world they're inheriting. Sometimes the most important screen time research happens in our own living rooms, watching how our children respond to our presence or absence, our engagement or distraction. The real question isn't how much screen time is too much. It's whether we're too distracted by screens to notice what our children actually need.